Since this morning, I've been yawning. Situations got me falling down. What should I do? The day's full of questions. There's no answers or suggestions. So, who do I turn to? You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. What's the latest on the caucus? Who's running for top office and why? Tell me why. Raising taxes on the masses. Who is doing it the fastest? Who lied? Tell me who lied. There's so much on my mind. It just makes me want to vent sometimes. It's so much going on. I just hope you hear this song and you do what's right. It's just not about black and white, no, no, but it's about the human rights. Yes, it is. It's just not about you and me. Can it be? But it's about who we can call. Let's call Jennie B. Call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah. It's so nice. Yeah. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life. The fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. I'ma call you can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah. Here I go. Call Jennie B. Here I go. Talk about Jennie B. It's this life. It's the fabric of life. The fabric of life. The fabric of life.
What you doing over there? Good evening, and good evening. I am your gracious host, Miss Jennie B, with my co-host, Miss Cam K. Yes, we are back in the cut for another episode of The Fabric of Life. All right, we got Mr. Boog on the ones and twos. I truly appreciate him. I owe him big time. But I got you. So we have two amazing guests joining us tonight. And Cameron's going to introduce one, and I'm going to introduce the other. However, we want to just take care of some housekeeping stuff. So if you want to call in and join the discussion, please dial 248-854-9850. We love callers. We love to hear your viewpoint. We love to hear what you have to say. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So our topic for this month is strengths versus weaknesses. But the subtopic, because each and every week we bring a twist with that, which Cam came up with tonight, is balance, preparing to win. So that's something that we all are trying to figure out. We're all trying to find balance, preparing to win. And what does it mean to win? Because what it means to win to one person may not mean the same thing to the other person. So I'm going to introduce our first guest, and then I'll shoot it over to Cam. So our first guest that we have joining us, her name is Stephanie Higgins, and she is a number of things. So I'm just going to give you a few things and she can add on, but she is a paralegal. She's a singer, a recording artist, and she writes with her husband, who also produces the music with her. And I'll let her tell you guys about that. She's also a social media influencer. And like, I met this young lady about almost a month ago, and I loved her spirit. And so we've been keeping in contact, and I told her, I definitely got to have you on the show. And so she said, I'm not going to sit back anymore. I'm going to step out on faith and just put my music out there. Yes. So again, welcome Miss Stephanie Higgins. Hey, Steph.
Hey, Stephanie girl.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to learn more about you and what God is doing in your life, and just helping you and encouraging and uplifting you to shine on, girl. And I'm going to turn it over to Cam so she can introduce our other guests.
Well, we have the illustrious Marcus Howell. And I say all that with all the love I have in my heart. No, we have Marcus Howell. He is from Detroit, Michigan, but he now hails in Atlanta, Georgia. And he is a real estate guru extraordinaire. So if you need a house in the ATL, contact Marcus Howell. But he is also a creative like we are, but he does plays, he sings, and he is a wonderful man of God.
All right, let's welcome Marcus Howell to the Fabric of Life. Thank you to you both. Yes, for joining us on tonight. So here on the Fabric of Life, we always start out with a quote. So I'm going to give both of you the quote, and then either one of you can jump in and give your reactions, and then we will follow up after the two of you. So the first quote, Cameron, you know, Cameron don't follow their own housekeeping rules herself sometimes. Got to put your phone on silent, ma'am.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm popular.
All right, so our starting quote out is for tonight. Sometimes we're tested, not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. Thoughts?
That's absolutely true. I'll just jump in because this is something that I think about all the time. You know, when you ask for strength, God doesn't just bless you with strength. He's going to, you know, take you through some things for you to see how strong you are. So that's something, that's a creed that I live by.
All right, Mr. Howell.
I totally agree with that. I think sometimes you have to go through some things to kind of become a better person. And if you don't learn the right way, you don't learn.
I totally agree with both of you. I think that if things were placed in our lives the perfectly or the way that we wanted them to be, I don't think a lot of us would be as far along as we are. I think that God orchestrates things in our lives for us to develop, to become better people, like Marcus said. And the test is just what it is. It's a test.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to take the test over and over and over.
I think also, what was the quote again?
It says, sometimes we're tested, not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths.
Okay. I like that as well. But when I think about tests, this is how I think about it. I think about multiple choice.
Okay.
You know, it's either you always have a choice. It's either A or B, and sometimes you have more than one choice. But I think that we are a product of the sum of our choices. I think that God does. He gives us a choice. So the test is a sum of your choice. You can either pick A or you can pick B, and then that's what determines what test you're going to have, or if you're going to be tested at all, is by the sum of your choices.
I like that. Multiple choice tests. Them the kind of tests I hated in school, though.
Me too. We would much rather just get the answer, but
I actually like essay tests because I love to write. So, like, I did not like the multiple choice, fill in the blank, the storytelling, like tell you a story and then you got to figure that out. Nah, just give me the essay question. I'm going to just write that thing out. All the other tests, I ain't like in school.
I liked all of it. Because I like the challenge. I was like, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ who give me strength. Because I'll be, that was like one of our affirmations that we had to say in the morning.
Up,
so no matter what test it was, I'd be like, I can do it.
My grandma used to make us say that too. And I made my kids say that too every day.
Yeah.
Can't is not a part of your vocabulary is what I would tell them.
Yeah. So with that going on, so Stephanie, I hear that you are a singer. Not a singer, but a singer. And I can't wait till we wrap up and hear, hear it. I'm excited about that. But I just wanted to ask the question, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Just that singer. It's been my lifelong dream. It was either, singing or being a lawyer. So I found a way to make both happen. So yeah, this is my dream.
Okay,
That's what's
wonderful.
up. So how did you get started singing? And what's your why? You know, we talked about that I think last week. Like, what's your why?
Hmm. I got started singing. Just I used to love Selena. I used to love all the obvious greats, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. So I sing all the time. I've always had this larger than life personality. So
Are you my twin?
Yeah, Cameron has life larger than life personality. We just talked about that before we got on the air. She called it dramedy.
right, right, yeah. A lot of people would say I'm full of drama. I'm so dramatic. But yeah, I've always been this way. So when it came to being in school, I was always, the star of every school play. And it's just always been in me. My uncle used to write for Motown, so
Okay.
he used to work with me, showing me how to play the piano. I don't know how to play it now, but yeah,
Okay.
part of my upbringing. My aunt Margaret, she would also, kind of groom me a little bit, show me the early life of what it's like to be a singer, and then from there, just it just grew, and it's just always been a part of me.
So it sounds like you've been raised around music all your life.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome. So how was it growing up to have your uncle who wrote for Motown and then actually like share some of those experiences with you growing up?
It was amazing. He was very close with Stevie Wonder. I have a picture with Stevie Wonder in my aunt's living room, and they were super young. Um, but at the same time, it wasn't very encouraged of me to be a singer. My mom had in those books, and just focus on making a better and a life that's better than hers was. So it wasn't very encouraging me to pursue singing. It was just
Wow.
it was always in my heart.
I understand that because I think parents know, especially they just know the road and all the ups and downs and ins and out of the music industry. And I think a lot of times they just want to protect us from, I mean, we've seen the Motown movies and the Five Heartbeats and all that and how people pray. They prayed on the guys. So, being a woman, it's even that much more,
Challenge.
chaotic and challenging because there's so much things that we have to endure. But it's always in God's perfect timing.
That's true because what God has for you is for you no matter who tries to stop it or keep you from doing that. If it's in his plan and will for your life, you're going to definitely do it.
And that's why you got a record.
Yeah.
So, Marcus, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, that's strange. I was such a quiet kid and
Yes, you were.
always took myself. Yeah, I wasn't like Cameron. Everyone knew she could sing, and just like
Embarrassing.
a room. Hey, we're here. But I used to
You're
the
breaking
bass
up.
guitar and sing. And that's not me.
I'm sorry, guys. It's a
Oh, no. No, you're
Well,
fine. Look, children
yeah,
are a part of our everyday lives. It wouldn't be real, with if we didn't hear a baby's voice or crying or whining or talking or whatever.
And
So
I
you
think
never
to
have to apologize
myself,
for being a mother.
what a wonderful world. Okay, Marcus, so what you
no,
were saying?
Cameron sing.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Don't ever- Yeah,
Tell him he going in and out.
You're breaking up, though. It's like
like
going in and out. You, no, like that.
me.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, I don't know why. Let me
Okay,
see.
you better now.
Okay, yeah. So I wanted to sing when I was younger. I never liked singing because my mom was the known singer of the family, and she did background for different artists. Was in the same clubs with Anita Baker and different groups back then, and everyone knew my mom was the singer of the family. So growing up the oldest child, it was like I'm not going to stand next to her and try to sing. That's not something to do, you know. So I actually hid the fact that I could sing until I was like in my mid to late 20s, and it was like right around that time I realized I do sound good. I can sing. You know, it wasn't like embarrassment, shyness, or anything like that. It was just I didn't care to discuss that. I didn't know what I wanted to be professionally until I got into real estate. So I'm really good friends with like Trina Braxton, and she had a restaurant here in Atlanta and did karaoke on Wednesday. I was like, I'm gonna go sing, and I went out there, picked the song, and I mean, shut the place down. It was awesome. I
Okay, shut it
believe it
down.
myself. I
All
shut
right
it down,
then.
and it was John Legend song or something. It was just something fun,
Some
and I
random.
had a good time. I
Okay.
never
I,
really opened
okay, so
all
Cam, I'm gonna ask you that
conversations.
question. What did you want to be when you were growing up? When you was
Oh
growing up?
Whitney
God.
Houston.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be Orphan Annie. The sun will come out tomorrow.
Are you serious?
Yes, but I was not. We didn't have little cream colored Orphan Annies back then, and so
Said colored orphan.
I always wanted to go into musical theater, but I always wrote and I always loved music. I wanted to be, honestly, I wanted to grow up and be Maria from the West Side Story. I loved that musical, so I always wanted to go into musical theater. And I stopped because I got discouraged going to college. You know, you're in college and you want to get in musical theater and they have their favorites. And so I think the most discouraging part was when I auditioned to be Maria. And when I say I knew every song, every note, because that's all I mean, I was blessed to go to Europe where I did get to be Maria. And so, but it was just disheartening that, you know, you didn't, you know, get picked sometimes because it wasn't what you know or what you can do, is who you know. And I think that's the same with the music industry, because I had different opportunities young, but we all know about the casting couch and the R. Kellys of the world. And so, you know, I was like, no, I was never going to trade who I am for a dollar, because that's not who I am. I'm always have to be true to myself, and you can have your dollar. You know what I'm saying? And so I passed up opportunities to be in singing groups that went on to be on Soul Train and be one-hit wonders and stuff, but I kept my integrity. And I didn't want to sing the Freak Like Me song. So I am here and I don't regret anything about my life. But right now, I can do whatever I want because I understand now that everything, like you said, is all in God's timing. So now I'm at a place in my life where I believe I can fly. And so I'm flying.
I believe I can fly. All right, I'm not about to sing. But, yes. So for me, I was always that crafty girl. Like, I was that girl that had the bedazzler. I got whoopings for cutting up clothes and all that kind of stuff. So once I never thought I would be a designer, but I just loved doing it. So fashion designer was something that I got into later in life. But growing up, I actually wanted to be a relationship expert, to be honest.
I was about to say a talk show host, because you're behind. She'd be like, because you know. She get this tone, y'all. Now, that is her
I
voice.
used to do the announcements in high school. Like, I was your morning PA announcer. So I told y'all what y'all was eating for lunch and all that kind of stuff and what was going on, you know, at the game. But I've always loved people. So my grandmother raised me, and I knew that I always wanted to do something to help people in whatever way I could. So I believe that our journeys in life are orchestrated by our God-given destiny that God gives us in birth. And so he reveals to us over time what that is. So let's dive into the topic. We're talking about strength versus weaknesses, balance, preparing to win. So Marcus or Stephanie, either one of you can jump in right now. So what ways in your life did you have to find balance balance in order to prepare yourself to win. So Marcus, I'm sure there were steps and things that you had to do to get to the point that you are, to become a real estate mogul in Atlanta. That's, time, hot, prime real estate,
Time's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of work goes into
It's a lot of work. And Stephanie, I'm sure you had to go through a vigorous process to become a lawyer, as well as pursue your singing career, and then also be a wife, a mother, and raise children all at the same time. So either one of you can jump in. We're talking about strength versus weaknesses, balance, preparing to win.
I am not the expert in balance because it's something I struggle with every single day. So it's still something that I pray on because I spread myself so thin in being a paralegal, in being a mother, in being trying to pursue my dreams. It's something that I struggle with. I still haven't found balance. I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning some nights working on this project, working on that case, helping with homework. Sometimes I'm bad. Sometimes I find myself just awake doing my kids' homework just because I haven't had to. And so balance is something that I'm still struggling with, honestly.
Well, I'm just going to encourage you as a mom too. You can do it. Right. God will give you the strength and he will equip you for every good work. That's 2 Timothy. Yeah. And I say that because I know it gets overwhelming being a wife, a mother, trying to do everything, but God will give you the strength. But I just applaud you for stepping out on faith and not forgetting about your hopes and your dreams and what you wanted to do and just doing it. Right. It's sacrifice of time and sacrifice of some things. But when I look at you and I hear you talk, I'm like, you go, girl. Go.
I second everything that Cam said because, all of those roles, right, requires a different focus. It requires a different energy. It requires different strength. And I believe that God gives us what we need for each season. And one day the kids are going to be grown, they're going to be gone. And you're going to be in another season and God's going to, do something else, renew something and build something, elevate something, whatever those things are. So I commend you as well because just being a mother and a wife is a lot in itself. But to add singing and a lawyer on top of that, that's strength, girl.
Just being right. That is. Go ahead, Marcus.
It takes a lot to humble yourself and kind of say, I can't do this. I need help. I went through a lot trying to balance when I needed help with things. I didn't know exactly what I was doing when it came to real estate in the beginning. I teamed myself up with a really good mentor. And then I got a coach, and then I was like, okay, I'm spending all this money. When am I going to get some? And it took a lot of training, practices, getting up, making sure when you say you're going to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, because I don't do 7. I can't. But I had to discipline myself to get up and do those things that I said I needed to do to get done what I needed to accomplish. And it took some months of that. I tried doing 2 jobs at once, decorative concrete, assustained floors, and doing real estate. And then occasionally a stage play here or something there, studio work, singing, this, that. And I was spreading myself too thin. Once I focused on real estate and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to commit to this 100%. That's when things started working out in my favor.
You say that one more time. I think that practice makes permanent. People say perfect, but no, permanent. Because the more you do something, the more comfortable you get at doing it. And then the main thing that I love that you said you had to pay a coin to get that wisdom and knowledge. You had to get a mentor. So you found
and a coach.
And a coach.
And you know what I like that you also said that you said you humbled yourself and you admitted, hey, I need some help. There's so many of us out there that have so much gifts and so much talent, or just everyday things. You may not be a good organizer, and you might think you're trying to do it, but somebody else may be able to help you organize a little bit better, whatever that organization means to you, so that you are more productive and that you are more efficient in the things that you're trying to do. But I just like the fact that you said, okay, I need some help, because so many people don't even want to admit they need help.
Men in general never want to.
This is
They
true.
always want to be taught something and say, hey, I got this. I get on. He's on back just like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, men do that, but I'm guilty of it, and I'm a woman. WOMAN. Oh, but
that's that dramedy, y'all. But
yeah, sorry,
I love her still.
Can't help it. But it's hard. It's hard to humble yourself and say, I need help. And the only reason that is because we live in a world where people are so judgmental, and they are constantly, it's like when you ask for help, sometimes you get kicked in the head instead of getting help, or somebody says something negative to you, and it can trigger something that, from past times that has, been not been positive. So it's hard, I think, for us to ask for help.
Now, Stephanie, you said that, balance is something that you're struggling with. I think we all have struggled or are struggling at some point in our lives with just finding what balance is. It reminds me of the phrase where it's talking about the balancing act, right? So it's like, I know for me, like when my girls were little and I had went through divorce with their dad, and they were 2 and 4. And so I, as a mother and, working full time, you are trying to figure out how to do this and how to do that. And the kids got to get fed. Then they got homework. And I hated science projects, y'all. I hate those. But, just still having to figure all that out. And I got to a point in my life, I said, okay, Lord, I need you to give me some help. I need you to help me figure out how to not make myself be so dog tired where I don't even have the energy or strength to do something for myself, because I've expensed it all out to everyone else. And so what I decided to do, I decided to teach my oldest daughter how to cook. She was 6 years old, and she was standing in a chair on her knees, and the first meal we had was baked chicken. And it was salted in a mug, but we put some barbecue sauce on that and we ate it. But
and by the grace of God, she did not burn the house down.
No, I stood right there with her, watched her step by step. But that started her intriguing us into cooking, because that girl loved to eat. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to teach her how to do this. And then I taught both of them just how to separate the clothes and do laundry. So my youngest daughter, she was better at that. And so that helped me to kind of separate those responsibilities. And I taught them how to do that. So I wouldn't
come
be
here,
so
little girls. We're going to play a game.
And that's exactly what it became. It became a game. But then I also, you used it as a teaching tool in a way, because I was also in college when I had them. So I was in school. So like we all did homework at the same time.
Yeah. It was 4 of us. And so my mother would just simply, the older children would help the younger children do certain things. And then when we got a certain age, everybody had a chore. My mother was smart, honey. She was like, work smarter, not harder. You do the dishes. You dust. You sweep the floors. I got 4 of y'all. Hold on. You go get the clothes out the dryer. And then she was good.
That's just how it is here in our house. Everybody has a job. I've explained to them that, we're a team. Everybody has a part, and teamwork makes the dream work. So my oldest son, very similar to you, Jennifer. He helps some nights. Some nights we have yo-yo nights, and that acronym in our house stands for "You're on your own."
Okay, now yo-yo nights. I like that. Ooh.
Oh, it's just what they can pop in the air fryer. Whatever they pop in the oven, noodles.
Okay.
So yeah, those
or that good old fashioned sandwich.
Yes.
But that teaches them responsibility too. It also teaches them not to be a crutch on their parents, and learn how to do some things on their own as they grow older. Yeah. So I love it. I like yo-yo night,
because I want them to put home economics back in schools. Yeah. I want to get a petition, because a lot of times these young men and women are growing up, they don't know how to boil water because there's DoorDash, it's fast food.
Grub
Man, when
Hub,
we was
everything.
growing up, fast food was a
Treat.
delicacy.
Yeah, that was McDonald's was a treat.
You be like, Mom, can I get some McDonald's? But the funny thing is, our parents were cooking full course meals, and we didn't know how good we had it. To have a tuna casserole, the love that went into it. Marcus, how many children were in your family?
So my mom had 3 boys, and I'm the oldest, and I was the one who was the greediest. So I was in the kitchen learning how to cook.
Okay. Did that bother you?
Gosh, and stuff like that.
Did that bother you? Because she made you get in the kitchen and cook with her? Yeah.
No, I like to eat. So I was like learning something new that I could do for myself. So that's why I'm such a good cook now. Pretty much every woman I dated, I could outburn them in the kitchen. So,
Okay, then.
All right now.
He said he got outburn them.
Marcus said he can outburn y'all. So what's your favorite dish to cook, Marcus?
Clapping for that.
shrimp and grits.
Oh my God, I'm about to eat that tonight. That's exactly what I'm about to make when I get home tonight. That's one of my favorites.
Well, I made it.
Has won awards, and
Oh, your banana pudding won awards. Okay, now.
Okay, well, next time we come to the ATL, you will be making some banana pudding.
And some shrimp and grits.
make good black eyed peas. I make good food.
Okay. Oh, y'all heard that out there? He can burn, ladies. He can burn.
Ingredient.
Let it burn.
Okay, so let me ask both of y'all the question, right? We're talking about balance, the best way, the preparing to win. And audience, if you want to call in and talk to our guest, the call-in number is 248-854-9850. So can each of you share 2 to 3 tips or tools or strategies that you've used on your journey in this road called life to help you to prepare to win, whatever that means to you, whatever winning means to you? And sometimes winning just may be having a peace of mind, right? Or just having
That's all of it, honey.
better joy. For me, it's peace. Like,
When you
if you
have
disrupt my
peace
peace,
and
we're
joy.
done. Like, you can't disrupt my peace. I'm sorry, because
Me neither. That's why I turn my ringer off at times, because I have learned that, sometimes you just got to shut the whole
Shut it down.
world
Yeah.
out. And
I had to learn that the hard way.
And for all of my friends and people that I love, it's not that I'm being mean. I just need a moment.
So share with us 2 to 3 tips or tools that each of you use to help bring balance for yourself, to prepare yourself to win. Whatever winning means to you.
I have 3 actually. And it's funny, we all start with letter P.
Okay.
I'll see anything. I know what I'm getting into. I don't do anything last minute. It's always preparation.
Okay,
Okay.
preparation.
I always pray. Yeah, I always pray and ask God to guide me and let me know what I'm doing. And as long as I'm doing the right thing by others, then I feel okay doing anything. And the last one is to be patient, because a lot of times when you're not patient, things go over your head. You're not prepared for something. Things don't go right. Miscommunication. Everything can go south. I've had contracts fall through the table on closing day, and I'm like, I don't get a check, But if you're not prepared, praying, and patient, then you don't know what's going to happen. Those 3 things help you stay on track for everything. And I taught myself, though. No one handed that to me.
Well, I can honestly say, Pastor
I
Marcus
thought of that
Howell.
myself. All right, now.
But for you to say that prayer, that means that you are a man of God. So it was put in you early that you got to call on him. Call him.
Every time. Yeah.
Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main.
We gotta get on beat.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna bring that
Okay,
back
so that's
in.
my Sagittarius twin, y'all. Our birthdays are a week apart, so that was one of them Sagittarian moments. Like,
Hercules,
we get each other.
Hercules. Okay.
So what about you,
that's
Stephanie?
awesome. I wrote that down.
I did too. What are some tips or tools that you've used?
I completely agree with Marcus. Everything must start with prayer, then discipline, and
Mm-hmm.
the discipline to, separate yourself from things that are no longer serving you, and just to go in the direction that you're praying for. Um, Aligning yourself with the right people in the right environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Amen to that.
uh, it's really prayer and meditation. Those are the two keys. Just
I want
pray,
to piggyback back
meditate, and listen to God, trust God, and
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
And what you was about to say,
I'm gonna
Mark? You said you want to piggyback on that.
add, add another P to mine, and that's people. You gotta surround.
Okay, now.
And I add a couple of P's. Ain't nothing wrong with a prayer partner. Hallelujah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's actually how me and Cam friendship started as prayer partners. Like, it was uniquely divine just how we became friends. And even though the enemy tried to come and not let us be friends, we both were mature enough to recognize the enemy's tactic, and didn't allow that to prevent us from becoming prayer partners and building the friendship that we have today. Like, I know that she's one of the people I can call and vent and go on a rant, and then she gonna get me, okay, Jennifer, or nah, you wrong, because we just had a conversation earlier today about something. She was like, nah, Jennifer, that's not you, be classy.
Right.
And I can receive it in love and not, be upset, and we do that for each other. So I definitely agree with what both of y'all said.
And I'm also learning, just a side note, that so often we have triggers and we have different hurts and pains and different things that we've been through in the past in relationships. And a defense mechanism for a lot of things is when people hurt you, or you don't want to get understanding, or you get in your feelings, you want to throw them away. But we have to remember that God doesn't throw us away.
Right.
And so with that being said, it's okay to agree to disagree, but when somebody is getting on your nerves, or you getting on your own nerves, turn off the phone. And I like what Stephanie said, get into some prayer and meditation, because sometimes you just need to get quiet with yourself. You cannot have any type of success or victories unless you pray, you meditate, you ask the Lord what he wants you to do, because it might not be what you think that you want to do. And then sometimes you just have to step out on faith, because I'm gonna just be real, just like with this wonderful podcast that we're on. I wasn't really trying to do this.
She sure wasn't, because I was asking her for a minute.
I was like, no.
Well, let me know when you want to come. I'm like, look, is you gonna do it or you not?
Then she set me up. Came to the studio one day and she was like, oh yeah, this is my co-host. I was like, yes, my name is Cameron and I'm her co-host. So I say all that to say, so Marcus and Stephanie, I admire both of you, and even Jen, because sometimes you have to step out on faith, and knowing, with that being said, your gift will make room for you. So try not to, because, we have family members, and I don't know why it is in my heart, but it is. And we have people in our lives that are not perfect, but we can't throw people away. And sometimes you need to do some introspection. Introspection is what I said, and figure out what trigger is it in you that they're irritating the hell out of you, but why? Because it's something in them that reminds you of a flaw that you have in yourself. So instead of throwing people away, if you can't talk to them in that moment, give it a minute and then circle back. And then sometimes you don't even have to say nothing. Sometimes you just need to shut the hell up in the name of Jesus. Yes, I did say
you don't
that.
have to throw nobody away. Sometimes God will remove people from your life, because I'm a firm believer that everybody's not to be in your life forever. And you have to know when somebody's season is up. Like, one of the things I pray is, Lord, give me the spirit of discernment. Increase my spirit of discernment so I know when a person's season is up in my life. You have some people who are long lifers, them your day ones, and sometimes your day ones got an end time.
Sometimes they gotta
I think
go
of it
too.
like, milk gets spoiled at some point. And
If it's not refrigerated.
well, even refrigerated, it gets spoiled. Okay, even organic milk has an end date. So I'm a firm believer in, Lord, show me what's the purpose for this person being in my life and what's my purpose in their life. Because I never think it's one dimensional. I always believe that God has a twofold process in every relationship. Everything that affects us in our lives is based off of some relationship.
Yeah.
That first relationship, like you stated, is a relationship and a trigger. That first initial relationship is what? Our parents. You know, whatever that relationship is or was, but
Siblings.
that
There's a
is
lot
what
of 'em.
starts. But the parents is the first because that's the seed. Then comes the siblings. Then comes everyone else, and then things and people that we allow in our life space. That's how you build those perceptions, those realities, those idiosyncrasies, those innuendos. Like everything in life is based off of some form of a relationship.
Don't ask my neighbor.
I think this message
So-
was for you guys because I am quick to throw somebody away.
Look, Cameron raising her finger like, me too.
I
I have that spirit. That is a gift of mine. I know.
She said it's a
when
gift.
your time is up. I know you've served. Not. I don't want to say you served your purpose, but you taught me what I needed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Some situations that present themselves, or if you put me in a certain position or in a certain situation, I just know that this is not for me. I'm not for you, and then it's just time to move on.
Amen.
I also had a older person tell me, sometimes you don't throw people away, you just put them on the shelf.
Yes.
And put them on the shelf means you don't throw them away. You just say, okay, right now, this ain't working right now. So let me just put you in this beautiful box and put you right there because they might need a timeout.
I agree.
They might need to get
That was
some
my
stuff
next
together
thought.
within them. And with them doing that. And I started singing Don't Ask My Neighbor because a lot of stuff is miscommunication. We get in our feelings, we talk, and we be like, I ain't going, and because I'm guilty of that too. Get in your feelings, and then what a difference a day makes. And then tomorrow you pray about it, you let it go, and then you healed and made whole, and then you be like, what I said, I did mean it, but I don't feel like that right now. I'm healed. Thank you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to be careful with our words and just make sure that while we're going through whatever we're going through, that we examine our hearts, not to say the wrong thing and not to hurt people. So again, I think preparation, prayer, patience, peace. I love the prayer, meditation, the discipline, the alignment. And sometimes I just think you need to be alone with you and your Father God, and ask for guidance and work it out within yourself.
All right. So if you're just tuning in to the Fabric of Life, you're tuned in with my co-host Cameron Kay and our illustrious guests Stephanie Higgins and Mr. Marcus Howell. Tonight, the topic for the month is strength versus weaknesses, and our subtopic is balance, preparing to win. Now, we're getting ready to wrap up in a few minutes. I don't know if my illustrious engineer was able to download the song.
You got it, boy. You got it, boy.
Late, and I'm sitting here, and we done had a whole conversation before we came on the air, and I'm just writing notes, and it slipped my mind. So I apologize because I don't like to be out of order.
She was not in alignment.
Before we share the song, I wasn't in alignment at that moment. I was aligning these notes, is what I was doing. So I apologize. Book. Can you forgive me? Marcus, please share your social media handles with everyone. Where can they find you? And how can they get at you? All of that.
Oh, that's easy. So everything online, social media is, my middle name is Marvell. So if you type in MARVELL 72, you get, and that's Instagram, that's Facebook. I even got TikTok. So,
All right, TikTok.
And you know that sound, the way his name sounds is like Captain Marvel. So the Marvel universe is Marcus Howell.
me and tattoos.
So you said that's Marvell 72?
Yep.
All right, you heard that, Marvell 72. So if you are looking for real estate in the Atlanta area,
Well, not just this, I can help you out in Michigan.
oh, okay. All right. Global? He said not just
All
in
right,
Atlanta.
I'm not
He can help
internationally
you in,
known,
in Michigan
but I'm
as
known.
well.
And he can sing. So if you need a wedding singer, you contact Captain Marvel. If you need somebody,
She said Captain Marvel. Ooh. All right, Stephanie, tell our listeners where can they find you? What are your social media handles? And if you're working on any new music, let us know that.
Yes, so I am working on a small EP
Okay, EP.
entitled Heaven. My social media handles, everything is Stephanie Higgins on Facebook. You can also follow my fan page, Life with Stephanie. You can find me on YouTube under Life with Stephanie. And then Instagram is the lovely Stephanie. So it's the lovely underscore Stephanie. And I'm also on TikTok at Fab Mommy 5. Yeah, so I have a ton of projects in the works. We probably
So
do all
you
things.
said Fab Mommy 5. Is that MOMMY or MOMMIE?
Yep, MOMMY.
All right.
I'm laughing because I call myself the lovely Cam.
Yes, we twins, girl.
Hi.
All right. So we are going to close the show out with your song, Stephanie, but you guys can stay on and listen on. But they're going to, I know he's going to turn the mics off so he can, are you going to turn the mics? Okay. Yeah, he's going to turn the mics off so we can hear the song. I just want to make sure that I'm saying what I'm saying is the right thing. But I appreciate both of you for tuning in and joining us and being our gracious, illustrious guest on tonight. Both of you are honored in your own right, doing great things in the community, great things for your people, for your family, for others, with a heart of gold. And always, like you said, preparation, prayer, patience, prayer, meditation, discipline, alignment, and trust. And as Cameron said, these are, some principles that we're talking about. I'm going to end our quote with strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you thought you couldn't. All right. Now we're going to go to Pretty Girls Pray.
Yeah, Pretty Girl Prayer.
All right. Pretty Girl Prayer. And this is, go ahead. You want to say something before he hit play?
No, please enjoy. This song was put on my heart to share. So enjoy. Please enjoy.
Well, did you want to share the partner with your husband and how the song came about before you hit play?
The song came about. God led me in the direction to do inspirational music above anything else. My husband was a music producer in his own right, and he does, sports music. So a lot of the music that you hear on ESPN or the background music to a lot of the reality shows that are on TV, he does that. And,
wow. Okay.
So, yeah, the song came about. He was actually making tracks for a reality show. So the track that the music is recorded to, I was like, ooh, can I have that? And I took it and I wrote to it. And that's how Pretty Girl Prayer came about.
All right. You have just tuned into another episode with The Fabric of Life with Jennie B and Cameron K. Thank you. And now we're going to close out the show with Pretty Girls Pray by Stephanie Higgins.
Bye, you two. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
It's time to put your highest heels on and get your strut on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! Walking in my highest heels with my head held high, thanking the Lord for such a blessed night. It feels so good being in this favor. Such a blessing knowing that He hears my prayers. And I pray, pray, pray. Pretty girls pray, pray, pray. Let us all pray, pray, pray. I pray, pray, pray. Pretty girls pray, pray, pray. Let us all pray, pray, pray. Every night, every day, I say my pretty girl prayer. Every prayer, I know it hits me. It's every blessing, I know that He's listening. It's not enough to go that I can't face, and not a battle that I can't win. And even when I thought I lost, it was my prayers that kept me holding on. And in Christ, I got victory. That's why I'm standing tall and you see pretty, pretty me. Hey, walking in my highest heels with my head on high, thanking the Lord for such a blessed night. It feels so good being in His favor. Such a blessing knowing that He hears my prayers. And I pray, pray, pray. Pretty girls pray, pray, pray. Let us all pray, pray, pray. Every night, every day, I say my pretty girl prayer. Girl, what you say? Pretty girl, what you say? Pretty girl, what you say? Pretty girl, what you say? I say my pretty girl prayers. I say my pretty girl prayers. Pretty girl, what you say? 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 Woo!
All right. That was Stephanie Higgins with Pretty Girls Pray. All right, y'all.
All right, pretty
you have just tuned in to Fabric of Life. We about to tune out of here. Thank y'all. God bless and good night.
Good night. Woo! Because we some pretty girls, and honey, you better believe we be praying all day, all long. Glory! Glory!
You know.
Since this morning I've been yawning, situations got me falling down. What should I do? The day's full of questions, there's no answers or suggestions. So, who do I turn to? You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life, the fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. It's so nice. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life, the fabric of life. What's the latest on the caucus? Who's running for top office and why? Tell me why. Raising taxes on the masses. Who is doing it the fastest? Who lied? Tell me who lied. There's so much on my mind, it just makes me want to vent sometimes. It's so much going on. I just hope you hear this song and you do what's right. It's just not about black and white, no, but it's about the human rights. Yes, it is. It's just not about you and me. Can it be? But it's about who we can call. Let's call Jennie B. Call on Jennie B. You can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah. It's so nice. Yeah. You can call on Jennie B. You can talk about anything in this life, the fabric of life. You can call on Jennie B. I'ma call you can say just what you mean. It's so nice. Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah. Here I go. Call Jennie B. Here I go. Talk about Jennie B. It's this life. It's the fabric of life. fabric of life. The fabric of life.